All right, good morning. I don't know when I hit the mute button on that part, but good morning. Welcome to the Lair, everybody. I appreciate seeing you guys on this Sunday morning. This week was quite hectic on my end, and I think very exciting for others for this week. I think the biggest thing obviously was we were able to select the winner for FOMO Cup, and the biggest benefit I think of FOMO Cup was just uh, our ability to be transparent. And the cool thing about the platform was that not only did we have a good amount of participation, we hit kind of the metrics that we had set as far as standards go for like our base minimum, what we kind of expected. Um, we did get to create a couple new opportunities with other projects, just as far as future opportunities of us just working together and cross pollinating when it comes to community events. So I did have a couple good conversations with some other teams that we'll be able to do some stuff kind of as the summer goes along, which is a it's a good thing for us, and it's a positive sign. And from my perspective, we obviously want to be able to build strong relationships with communities outside of Jirasan, right? I think that's one of the things that I said we really want to focus on. If you're judging us in 12 months, did we earn the trust of our peers? And obviously, did we earn the respect back from our holders? Is the two main things that I said a few weeks ago. So that's a great sign for us. We also obviously want to get going on getting to live events. So I've been kind of searching up, where we can plug ourselves into. It's looking like NFT NYC is probably going to be best bet for the summer for myself. So trying to see if I can coordinate and get myself there and get Jirasan the opportunity to either get a booth or at least see what we can do from a marketing standpoint for the team. So I was looking over cost from NFT NYC's website just for like sponsorships and stuff like that. So um, I don't have anything concrete as far as if that happened, but that seems to be, I think, number one on my mind for live events that I got to get to. So, and it's also a good opportunity because there's other communities that I'm involved with that are also over there, or also have things planned on certain dates already. So, um, yeah, something that I'm really trying to get to for this year. I think that's something that we should be focused on as a group is getting ourselves in front of more individuals, other communities, but not just Web3, also you know IRL communities. So this past week I spent about half an hour speaking with um, the owner for my son's ninja class and ninja gym, and we were discussing just kind of like a breakdown of um, how they kind of structure their pay scale and what they look at as far as metrics to determine if it's a profitable business, if it's working, and things like that. So we had a good conversation. We're actually this is going to be, I think, one of the first IRL communities that I want to tackle. A little bit, obviously, because I'm kind of have my foot in the door with my son kind of being involved and everything that he is with that Ninja Warrior kind of world. But um, when I visited the live event in Pennsylvania the past couple weeks ago, I realized just how ahead of their time this kind of community is, and I think right now, if at least if you're in the U.S., if you walk by a lot of the shopping centers and a lot of even our old malls, you'll notice that it's a lot of dead space. The space obviously needs to be filled, right? And it's clear, at least where I live at, and it's clear by like me being able to visit these tournaments, just how strong a community um, this ninja community is. And I was able to speak with one of the project managers for the tournament, because I think part of us kind of creating our story and our narrative, um, requires us to actually be involved in certain things and find niches that we feel align with, our community beliefs and our team's idea of where we want to be viewed or how we want to be viewed. And I think, even watching different projects, like we've seen this with, projects doing videos on YouTube for kids, right? We've seen um, most recent, I think it's Cleanosaurus, with their animated series on Amazon, right? More directed for kids. I don't know if I'll limit it to just kids because I haven't actually watched the full episode, but there's a part of being able to put yourself around the people that you want to grow with and putting ourselves in communities that I believe are going to expand, right? And um, we obviously have Jira Fit for the chat. For those of you guys who are working out, it seems we have not worked out at all summer for the past few months. I don't think anybody's added anything in there. So I'm gonna assume everybody's been just eating donuts and kind of relaxing. So, but these are things that we feel are good positions to place our brand, right? Um, as we kind of try to involve ourselves within certain communities and within certain events. Um, health is wealth is something that I think most people here have heard before or live by. And it's something that I think it's a good position for us to put ourselves in. So I was able to have a couple good conversations the previous week, and I am excited to kind of see where that goes. I think getting us in a couple gyms, if we were able to get, ownership and percentages with some of these companies, I think it's a good opportunity for Jira to kind of be branded in IRL within real communities that are actually active and pushing the narrative of things that we feel are important, right? So that was good for this previous week. The biggest news, though, I don't think anything can top this. I'm still I'm still waiting. I think he is going to send us uh, a couple bids on some cosmics. So congrats to Jerry O. Yo, this tournament was crazy. Um, I'm glad that somebody that actually was participating and actually using the platform was able to win, right? We put everything out into the announcements just so that way we're transparent, right? So it was an automated pick. It wasn't the team making any picks or anything like that. Everything's on chain. Um, and 2.9 ETH, man. I think that's a good a good jump for somebody that's trying to have a good summer. So, Jerry, congrats on winning FOMO Cup. That was obviously our first run on that platform, and obviously, I think I've stated this the last couple of weeks. Just how proud I was of the team for being able to execute on it. It was a lot of opportunity on it. I got a couple DMs as far as like what my expectation is with that platform, or kind of like where we're looking to take it. I'll reiterate this because it's something that I think it's the reality of where we're at in Web3, and that's just that you're only gonna really survive here if you're active, right? And if you're engaged in building. You have some communities that might be able to survive just off of being, art based projects that people maybe don't even bother to have a community about. They just enjoy the art. Um, but that's not really our case here. That's not really the vision, or that's not really the angle that I think that we're able to take with Jirasan, right? Like, obviously, I love our collection. There's I don't know if I think I'm close to 70 now for just pieces that I've grabbed, and pretty much any piece that I've ever bought is something that I've liked. I think I've taken a couple off the floor, maybe just to add to a couple purchases that I've made throughout the past few months. But for the most part, like, our history and kind of everything that has formed us to this point, right? It's more just about our story, and we have to be able to create that. And we have to be able to paint that narrative. So, um, yeah, I think for us, this is FOMO Cup was great because it was a clear stamp of just transparency, right? So, um, yeah, I had a good week overall. I think for our team, the main thing that I've kind of like pushed is just for our builders just to narrow some things down and just focus on building because it's clear, right? Like I think we spent the first 8 months as a group focused on trying to just build something that makes money. Um, and we definitely spent more attempting to do that um, than we did even pushing FOMO Cup and even us putting in 2 ETH, into the pot. So and for marketing. So there's um there's a lot of opportunity that we have and I know now is just a time for us to start to capitalize on those opportunities. So live events this year, like I said earlier, is something that I'm really pushing for. Um and I think NFT NYC is something that I'm gonna try my hardest to get to. So um if you guys are at any events, actually, this is a good opportunity to also bring this up as well. Um there's a new platform that I think you guys will see me share on maybe on X, but it's a platform that it's pushed to be able, it's a giant map that I think we want to be able to utilize for people that are running events. So I think you guys will see this a little bit in the future, but this is a good platform I think for what we're trying to do, right? Like we obviously have the Jirasan map on the website, but one of our builders is building something a little bit more to brand towards the masses and us being able to attract other communities to join the map and to add events that they're doing is going to be like our goal with that. So a little bit more on that platform. Yeah, as you guys will just pay attention to my ex, you guys will kind of see us start to share some info about it. But um, yeah, bullish has been building. So I think for what we need to do, we'll definitely need some community support to push it. But um, being able to tag other communities or being able to get involved with other community events is something that's going to help us out a lot in these next, you know, 6 to 12 months. And us being able to get our team there, whether it's just myself and somebody else, whether it's myself solo representing the community, I definitely know we'd be running into some Jiras at these events. So yeah, if you guys are in other communities that are joining certain Web3 events, feel free to DM me, feel free to tag me in the layer, or if there's a certain post or something like that, you guys can tag me on X or whatever, so that way I'm aware of it. But yeah, I think for the next maybe 8 weeks, I think team will be head down and just focus on building and putting ourselves in position for meeting uh, meeting new teams and just opening doors for other opportunities. So we're open to discussion as far as maybe ideas you guys might have around anything in that ballpark. But for the most part, yeah, we I had a good week. So I'm not too sure what you guys are working on or what you guys are up to for the summer, but I'm curious to know if anybody's going out or doing anything for this summer. We For myself, traveling for this past month, I think I'm about done with traveling, other than trying to get to these events. So, hopefully, you guys have some stuff planned. We do have, I am working on a new community event for some content. So we'll be putting some stuff out end of this coming up week for some stuff that I've been brainstorming, and we'll put some prizes and some rewards out to create a little bit of buzz. But just be on the lookout for that. Other than that, you guys, I think I don't want to monologue too much today, unless you guys got stuff that you might have some questions on. The big thing was wanted to make sure we give a big shout out to Jerry O, um, winner of the FOMO Cup and at 2.90th, which was amazing. I wanted to kind of give you guys an update just as far as like how my week went when it comes to Web3 involvement and kind of what we've been trying to do from an outside standpoint. But other than that, that it wasn't too, wasn't too crazy this week. Nothing too much to talk about as far as you know, um, any good juice going on with the team. I think right now we're kind of in second gear, and we're just kind of coasting and um, trying to figure out what we're gonna do with the FOMO Cup platform, and what's the next thing that our builders are working on. So from a community standpoint, other than that, I think I want to see how I can kind of get you guys a little bit more active back in the lair. Um, I think just I've gone through different communities. There's a couple that are a bit more active, but for the most part, I think everybody's enjoying summer in Web3 and maybe hopping on X here and there. But for sure, want to do a couple events in the community just to get us a little bit more engaged and to reward a little bit more for those who are being active and participating, just to have some fun. So other than that, man, I think that's kind of like everything I wanted to chit chat about from the back end. Um, I unless somebody wants to hop on stage, man, I think that's a good point for me just to kind of wrap everything up for today. All right, so on that note, you guys, um, two things that I'm looking for, and if you guys are kind of, you know, moping around or kind of doing your thing, RWAs and um, yeah, I think real world assets is going to be a big thing. So if you guys are, seeing anything pop up on your timeline, I am interested. We just seen was it stock bunkers pop up on Robinhood last week? We talked about that. But I'm interested in the finance tech side of Web3, and I'm trying to dive in to see what else is out there just for brainstorming perspective for myself. So if you guys notice anything that you like from a tech side, anything that's coming out, any projects that are working on anything, revolved around like RWAs or the finance side of the world, definitely tag me, drop me that info. Just trying to do a little bit more research and see kind of what ideas I think we can drum up for ourselves here. And other than that, man, just I appreciate you guys pulling up. Enjoy your Sunday, and yeah, I will see you guys next week on the lair. Ciao, you guys.